The astrologer who knew the secret of time. An astrologer holds a magical fruit in his hands, a fruit that can solve all of women's problems instantly. But he doesn't give it to her. Instead, he watches her suffer for 3 years. Is he cruel? Is he heartless? Or does he know something about destiny that we don't know about? The answer will change the way you think about timing, patience, and fate. This is a story of Kaushikan and the astrologer and the question that even stumped King Vikramaditya. Stay with me, friends. This tale comes from the ancient Vikram Vedalam stories and the wisdom hidden in it. Absolutely mind-blowing. Welcome, my dear friends. Today I am taking you on a journey into one of India's most fascinating story traditions, the tales of Vikramaditya and the Vedalam. King Vikramaditya, the legendary ruler known for his wisdom and courage, has been cursed into carrying a corpse possessed by a Vedalam, a ghostly spirit, to cremation ground. This Vedalam loves to tell stories, and at the end of each story it asks a riddle. If Vikramaditya knows the answer but stays silent, his head will explode. But if he speaks, the Vedalam flies back to the tree and he must start all over again. It's a cycle of wisdom, frustration, and profound life lessons. And today's story, it's about an astrologer named Kaushikan and a woman named Mala, and the magical fruit that could have changed everything. Once again, King Vikramaditya climbed the ancient banyan tree in the cremation ground. The moon was hidden behind clouds. The wind whispered through dead leaves. Jackals howled in the distance. He grabbed the corpse hanging upside down from the branch, threw it over his shoulder, and began the long walk back toward the groom. And then, as always, Vedalam began to speak. Vikram, oh Vikram, you are so persistent. Walking the same path night after night, never giving up. I admire that about you. The king stayed silent, walking steadily. You know what? The video continued. Since you are such a good listener, let me tell you something interesting. There are many frauds in the world, Vikram. Fake gurus, false prophets, astrologers who deceive people in the name of destiny, charging money for useless remedies. But there are one astrologer, a man named Kaushikan, who was different. Very different. His story will make you question everything you know about fate and timing. Listen carefully, Vikram. In a prosperous village called Mahanandapuram, there lived a wealthy merchant named Divakar. He had everything a man could want: money, respect, and beautiful home. He had one daughter, his precious Mala, beautiful as the morning star, kind-hearted as a saint, educated and graceful, every father's pride. But Mala carried a shadow over her life. Her marriage had been arranged 3 times. Can you imagine a beautiful, educated, kind-hearted woman, and yet marriage kept slipping through her fingers like water? Mala began to lose hope. She would sit by her window watching other girls her age get married, have children, build families, and she should wonder, what's wrong with me? Why am I cursed? Her mother Prabha couldn't bear to see her daughter's tears anymore. One day she said to her husband, enough is enough. My brother Gopi lives in the city. He knows people. We must find help. Gopi, when approached, immediately thought of his friends, the famous astrologer Kaushikan. Now Kaushikan was not like other astrologers' friends. He didn't just look at charts and demand money. He studied deeply. He meditated. He understood the cosmic rhythms of life. When Mala's family brought him her horoscope, he studied it for hours in complete silence. Finally, he looked up and said something remarkable. This woman's horoscope resembles that of goddess Sita herself. But he added, there is something you must do. Travel to Jaipur, visit the ancient Rama temple there. Offer prasads to the true devotee. Not just anyone, but someone whose heart is pure. If you do this with complete faith, her destiny will shift. The family had nothing to lose. They packed their belongings and traveled to Jaipur with Kaushikan accompanying them. The Rama temple in Jaipur was magnificent, ancient, powerful. You could feel the divine presence the moment you entered. They performed the puja with complete devotion offered. Prasad prayed with all their hearts. As they were leaving the temple, Kaushikan suddenly told the carriage driver, "Stop here in front of this house." Everyone was confused. Why? We don't know anyone here. But Kaushikan smiled mysteriously. Just trust me, Mala. Mala, take this prasad and offer it inside. Mala, though hesitant, walked up to the large, beautiful house and knocked on the door. The door opened and there stood a young man. His name was Veerabhadra. The moment Veerabhadra saw Mala, it was as if the universe stopped. Her grace, her gentle eyes, the way she smiled while offering prasad, he was captivated. "Please," he said, "please come in, bring your family. We would be honored within hours." Friends, the topic of marriage came up. Veerabhadra, his parents, met Mala's parents. They talked, they laughed, they connected. And Kaushikan, he quietly checked both their horoscopes and announced with complete confidence, "This match is written in the stars. Perfect alignment, perfect compatibility." Within weeks, Mala and Veerabhadra were married in grand celebration. Finally, after so much pain, happiness had arrived, or so everyone thought. 3 years passed, and Mala remained childless. Veerabhadra, his mother, began with subtle comments. "Maybe you should try this remedy. My friend's daughter-in-law had this problem and she did this puja." But soon the comments became sharper, crueler. "What kind of woman are you? You are ruined my son's life. We should never have agreed to this marriage." And Veerabhadra, the man who had fallen in love at first sight, began to grow distant, cold. He stopped defending Mala, stopped sitting with her at meals, stopped caring. Can you imagine what Mala felt after years of rejection? She had finally found love, found a home, and now it was all slipping away again. She would cry alone in her room at night, wondering, "Why am I cursed? What did I do in my past life to deserve this?" 3 years of marriage, 3 years of suffering. When Mala's parents heard about her suffering, their hearts broke. Prabha said to her husband, "We must go to Kaushikan again. He helped us before. Maybe he can help us now." When they reached Kaushikan's house, they were crying. "You said everything would be fine. You said she was like Sita. But look at her life now, it's destroyed." Kaushikan listened patiently. Then he smiled. Not a mocking smile, but a knowing one. "Did I not tell you? Like Sita, she will face trials. But trials are not over yet, but neither is the story." He stood up. "Take me to Veerabhadra's house." When they arrived, the whole family was there. Kaushikans walked in like a warrior entering a battlefield. Within 2 months, Mala will be pregnant. But now came the real question. How would Kaushikans fulfill his promise? He left the house and traveled to a remote forest. Years ago, he had once met a demon, not an evil demon, but an ancient being bound by mystical laws. He found a demon in the cave. As your time has come, Kausikan said, you once told me that when the cosmic moment is right, you possess a magical fruit, a fruit that can grant a blessing of child to anyone who eats it. That moment is now. Give me the fruit. The demon nodded slowly. You are right, astrologer. The time had indeed come. He chanted ancient mantras. Energy swirled around him, and in his hands appeared a glowing golden fruit. The demon had given his life force to manifest it. He had handed it to Kaushikan's arm. He smiled peacefully and dissolved into light. His purpose fulfilled. Kaushikan took the fruit to Mala. Eat this, he said simply. The time has come. Mala, with the trembling hands and hopeful tears, ate the fruit. Within 2 months, she was pregnant. Within a year, she gave birth to a beautiful, healthy child. The house that had been filled with cruelty and silence suddenly overflowed with joy and celebration. His mother, crying, hugged Mala and apologized for her harsh words. Everything had turned out well, just as Kaushikan had predicted. The Vedalam passed its story. Well, Vikram, are you still listening? The king kept walking silent. Here is my question. Oh, wise king, Kaushikan had met that demon years ago. He knew about the magical fruit. He knew it could solve Mala problems instantly. So why didn't he give it to her right away? Why did he make her suffer for 3 painful years? Was he cruel? Was he heartless? If you know the answer and don't speak, your head will explode. But if you speak well, you know what happens. King Vikramaditya stopped walking. He couldn't stay silent. He knew the answer. Vedalam, the king said calmly, your question seems clever, but the answer is simple. Oh, do enlighten me, great king. Kaushikan was an astrologer, not God. He could read the stars. He could see the patterns. He could predict the future. But he could not change destiny. Then why have the fruit at all? The Vedalam challenged. Because Vikramaditya explained, everything in this universe has its appointed time. The fruit could only work when the cosmic moment was right. If he had given it to Mala 3 years earlier, it would have just been a fruit, nothing more. The demon himself said it. The time has come. Not earlier, not later. The precise moment. Kaushikan understood something that most people don't. Good things don't happen because we want them. They happen when the universe is ready to give them to us. A seed planted in winter won't grow no matter how much you water it. But the same seed planted in spring, it blossoms beautifully. Mala's suffering was not because Kausikan's cruel. It was because her season hadn't arrived yet, and no power in the world, no magic, not prayers, not even miracles can make fruit ripen before its time. That's why he waited. Not because he didn't care, but because he understood the rhythm of destiny. Ha 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 ha. Correct, Vikram, absolutely correct. The Vedalam laughter echoed through the cremation ground. You have answered wisely once again, and so, according to agreement, the corpse flew off Vikramaditya's shoulder and soared back through the darkness to the banyan tree. The king's sight turned around and began walking back again, as he had done 24 times before. My dear friends, this story, this beautiful, profound story, it holds one of life's greatest truths. Kaushikan could have given all of the fruit immediately, but it wouldn't have worked. The timing was not right. The stars were not aligned. The universe was not ready. Her 3 years of suffering were not wasted. They were preparation. They were transformation. They were the cocoon stage before the butterfly. So if you are going through the difficult time right now, if you feel like your prayers are not being answered, if you wonder why good things happen to others but not to you, remember, Mala, remember that you are Kaushikan. On whether it's God, the universe, the destiny, or whatever you believe in is not ignoring you. The fruit exists. The blessing is coming, but it will only manifest when the time is right. Have faith. Like Mala's family had faith in Kausikan. Be patient like Kaushikan was patient with the cosmic timing. Keep preparing because when your season arrives, you need to be ready. Trust the process. Even when you can't see the fruit yet, no matter how long it takes, friends. What is meant for you will come at the right time. Not your time, not when you demand it, but when the universe knows. You are ready to receive it and handle it wisely. That's the difference between human impatience and divine timing. And that, my beloved friends, is the story of Kausikan, the astrologer, a tale of destiny, patience, and the secret of cosmic timing. If this story spoke to your soul, if it gave you hope in dark moment, if it reminded you to trust the process, hit the like button. Help spread this ancient wisdom to those who need it. Share this video with someone who's going through the tough time, someone who needs to hear that their season is coming, someone who is about to give up hope. Subscribe for more stories from Vikram Vedalam tradition. And from Akbar and Birbal to Tenali Raman and other treasures of Indian wisdom. Comment below and tell me, have you ever experienced something coming to you at perfect timing even though you wanted it much earlier?